Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny? What's going on, people? What's going on, people? It is the day. Another day we call Saturday. And it would have been said, what's going on, people? Hopefully everybody's having a safe weekend and everybody's doing what you need to do as far as, living your life and stuff. And, we got the weekend off, so hopefully you're a person who can get the weekend off and not be working on a person who has to work, which is always a good thing because that means more money put inside of your pocket, or you're someone who just got somebody in your house because you had a great night. Anyway, been so much good, people. I want to talk to you about something. It's about a story that happened actually in November. I did not know about this story, so it happened in November of last year. Clearly it was last year, but it was about a girl. She's a transgender. Her name is Karis Ross, and she was 37 years old. Here's a picture right here. Okay, let me just tell you about her. She worked inside of Milwaukee. She worked for the special education and teachers at the Milwaukee German Emerson School. Okay. Now, according to her, she had a lot of problems inside the school in reference to her being trans and working there. Because, within school, you decide to be a teacher, you got to go to college, get degrees and stuff like that, in reference to, children, be a teacher. Anyway, that's that. But, it's the education and program. Anyway, so she had a problem within the facility as far as working inside the school. And she had a problem there because she was being harassed. Now, before I start the story to tell you this is the storyline. She had a mother that was there, the mother that was a mother that was there in her life, and a mother that was and still is, as far as we go in her life and stuff. Her mother's name was Jill, and this is her mother and her daughter. Okay, now this is the problem that we have here. She decided to transition when she was, clearly she was working at the school and stuff. And while she was working at the school, she transitioned. Now, by her transition inside the school, everybody's not going to be on board. It's sad, but she was being misgendered, which you already know, being made fun of, made a mockery of. She kept talking to the principal and stuff, and he would slip up and call her, the male name instead of the girl name. And she forgave him, and so she was like, what, people make mistakes and stuff, so I'm not going to hold it against, it's a progress. And, she was very, nice about it and stuff, saying, well, what, it is what it is. And she probably was just over, but it became to the point where she was getting bullied by the co-workers and the people that was inside of the school as well, the teachers and stuff, and that works in the school. So of course, not giving up the names and stuff, but she kept emailing the principal, letting them know they was giving her a hard way to go, and she couldn't deal with it more. And she tried to contact the principal and stuff, so they could mediate against it, so they could talk about the problem, get it addressed, and she could talk to, in other words, go inside the meeting room, the conference room, and they all sit to the teacher and her and a counselor maybe, and they can mediate and get this whole thing to stop, so they can stop bullying her. She endured this for 10 years of being bullied. Now, by her being bullied so much, she couldn't do it no more. So guess what? She committed suicide. Okay.
At the time, it was called a tragic suicide of one of Milwaukee's brightest teachers. A teacher at the Milwaukee German Immersion School took her own life after years of being bullied by her coworkers. Tonight, for the first time, Fox 6 investigators show you the emails that teacher sent to school leaders asking for help. Our Megan Dwyer here in the studio with that. Megan?
Brad, in her suicide note, Karis Ross wrote that she had endured 10 years of bullying from several coworkers, and she, quote, simply couldn't stand another day of it. Through an open records request, we got access to her emails. We wanted to know, did school officials really ignore her pleas for help?
And now I'm going to cry.
It's hard enough for a mother to lose her daughter. Harder still to read some of her child's last words.
Cries for help.
Cries for help reduced to a stack of paper.
All of it was very difficult to read.
For a year, Milwaukee Public Schools refused to release these emails, saying the 2014 suicide of Karis Ross, a special education teacher at German Milwaukee Immersion, was still under investigation. Now that investigation is over, and here in these emails, in her own words, is what the school knew about her struggle as a transgender special education teacher.
Things that were, just blatantly obvious and were ignored.
3 years after Karis transitioned from male to female, the school principal continued to refer to her as a man. Karis wrote, quote, "I know you meant no offense by such a slip-up. Old habits die hard. However, people look to you as a model of behavior." That same year, she wrote to the principal about what she called ongoing drama in the special education classroom. Rumors about her being spread by other teachers. And also continued problems with classroom aides.
Reading them was very hard because it's everything that Karis talked about.
And then, the month she died, she sent numerous emails complaining about, quote, multiple panic attacks, extreme fatigue, and a complete loss of appetite. She asked to meet with the principal to discuss, quote, practical solutions to some of the difficulties she was having with classroom aides. When he never replied, she wrote again, saying, quote, I don't feel I have your support in this matter.
She tried to get the principal to mediate, which in my opinion would have been his job.
And then she laid it all out. Just days before she killed herself, she wrote to the school principal, quote, I feel that I am being subtly bullied, and it's taking a toll on my health. She never heard back. Instead, the principal forwarded her email to Labor Relations, but by then, it was too late. Karis Ross killed herself. In her suicide note, she wrote, quote, I endured 10 years of bullying from several of my coworkers. After a lifetime of abuse from other people, I simply couldn't stand another day of it.
The kind of bullying that went on with my daughter it was subtle. It wasn't that she was kicked or hit or pushed. She was ignored.
Milwaukee Public Schools would not talk to us on camera about how the district dealt with this situation. The German Immersion Foundation had no comment. It's that kind of radio silence on the issue, Karis's mom says, that is part of the problem.
There has to be change.
Madeline Dietrich, one of Karis's friends, wrote an open letter to MPS after Karis's death, which gained national attention. After we showed her the emails, she says she stands by what she wrote.
MPS failed to acknowledge the obstacles Karis faces as a trans woman, as a trans person. This is really the takeaway, I guess, for other school districts, is how serious it is and how seriously they need to take it.
Dr. Carrie Costello, a sociology professor at UWM, says it's important that employers, especially school districts, be aware of what their employees are up against when they transition at work.
We have to be aware of the levels of discrimination and harassment, especially trans women face in the society, and be good allies for them.
While it's too late for her daughter, Karis's mom says it doesn't have to be too late for anyone else.
Do you feel like the district let her down?
Yes.
Do you feel like MPS dropped the ball here?
Yes.
Now, while MPS would not go on camera, they did finally email us a statement. The district says it was not evident that Ms. Ross was being bullied until she sent that last email right before the Thanksgiving holiday. After that email went out, they say the principal did take steps to seek support for the teacher.
Now, Megan, was anyone ever disciplined over all of this?
Right, so we couldn't get the records because the investigation was ongoing. The investigation is over, but they still are not giving us any indication whether those coworkers that Ross mentioned in her suicide note were ever disciplined. MPS did not provide specific details of that internal investigation.
Okay, you see that? Rest in peace, Miss Ross. I probably butchered your name, so I'm just going to call you Miss Ross. Rest in peace, sis. You know, it's sad and stuff. You know, she's 37 years old. She was going through this type of period in reference to school and stuff. You know, she's out there educating the children, trying to get them to learn different things. And she was trying to, you know, move forward and help people when nobody would even help her within her life. You know, it's sad when you can't go to the administrative, you know, of your job and let them know that, well, she let them know that she was being harassed, but she kept sending emails and stuff, but they didn't answer her back. You know, rest in peace, Ross. And her mother is not even upset. Her mother is upset, of course, but her mother is saying that she's not going to attack the school and stuff. She just wants the school to know better for what they did in case this issue happens again, you know, reference to a teacher or that transition while they were working there. And, you know, be much more compassionate when it comes to people who are transitioning in their jobs and stuff like that. You know, it's sad, but it is what it is. Anyway, rest in peace, Miss Ross. Now forgive me, because now I'm going to say what I want to say. I just want to put this out here as far as, you know, you transition and stuff, and, you know, you want to be and when you're working inside of a company. This is something you always need to think about. You need to think about the fact that if you transition at the job you're at, you know, we always say you can't be fired because of discrimination, but you have to be prepared for the consequences. Because we are in a very, very mean world. We're in a world where people don't have to transition, and people are just really mean to them. It doesn't have to be a reason to just really mean. However, me, myself, per se, if she was my daughter and she was being harassed and she wrote a letter and she could send an email to them, they would be sued. I would sue them. I would sue them because of the fact of the matter, my child was calling out for help. I would sue them on the fact that she was being ignored. I would sue them that the person I was sending to that was supposed to help me ignored it. I would sue them that the person I ran to help me was the one also misgendering me and calling me out my name when I told them what my name was legally. I was sick. But that's the kind of person I am. Let me tell you a little example of me, what happened to me one time. And I hate to make this story about me, but I was working inside of a financial firm and over there in Jersey City and stuff, financial district and stuff. And I was working there and stuff like that. There was a guy that was there and he kept giving me a hard way to go, and you know that more people in the company joined on. This is what happened. I went now. I had to say, look. I went there and got my weave put in my hair. I put a weave in my hair now. But see, the thing with me, my weave, I think I put it in the ponytail. I didn't wear it all loose. You know, you put a weave in, you know, little things in the back, you just pull in the ponytail. So the guy was like, oh, what's that? That's your, you said a wig on the back of your head? So I was like, no, it's not. So he was like, oh, what are you? Then he's going in. So I was like, said something back, but he's a higher up man. He was not a regular employee. He was a higher up. So he was like a boss. So he was going back and forth messing with me, and I was saying stuff back to him, and he was getting upset. I was getting upset too. So then it just kept going on, and they had friends coming. They all started teaming in on me. So I was like, y'all gotta stop. This is not cool. So they was like, oh, what's the problem? Ain't nobody doing nothing to you. And it was like, oh. Now see, with me per se, when it comes to business, you have to do things in a business white-collar way. You can't act all belligerent as if you're on the street. You have to do very, very professional. And if you want to be a person that's in the business, and I'm not discriminating against anybody, and excuse me if I offend you what I'm about to say, but this is how I am. I worked around a lot of white people, and I learned how the rules go, and I learned how to work the rule game the same I watched them work. Let me tell you what happens. See, as a black person, and I'm not saying every black person, I'm not saying every white person, for y'all to put that oopalop in my face, but I'm going to tell you something. When you are a black person, and you get upset for your job, the first thing, not everyone, so don't stop at that, but when you're a black person, you get upset, you say, you know what I'm going to do? This is this job, and doesn't it suck? You know what, when you come outside, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to show you, say, you want to be so tough, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do when you come outside. You threaten the job, stuff, you know, you always say you're belligerent. Now, that's usually, and I'm not saying all black people, but that's usually how they respond. Now, when a white person gets upset, this is a totally different thing. They handle it much more different. They say, well, you know, okay, the same issue. So, well, you know what? Don't even worry about it, Raven. It's over with. It was a misunderstanding. I like you as a person. You're a very good worker. I love the way you do things and stuff like that. We need more people like you. And that's what a white person does when it comes to someone as far as being a job. And then what he does is when he walks away from you, he goes around to the Ministry of Human Resources and he goes write up a letter on you and have your ass fired. And here it is, you thought that everything was already resolved. And he just played it all so he could just get you in one spot to get you and things okay. Next thing you know, your ass is fired. They done got paperwork over you saying you can't do this, you can't, maybe you're the worst thing in the world when that paperwork comes out. That's why whenever you do those reports and stuff and it comes down to evaluations, you know, for your raise, you keep all that stuff with you. It's just food for thought. You don't want to listen to your answer. Anyway, then said. So my thing is I would sue. Because there comes a time in my life, in your life, when you just can't say, oh, okay, well, they didn't understand because my child transitioned. You don't have to ask much to get somebody to respect you. That's all I'm saying to this. You know, the thing about it is that I had talked to people in reference to hormones, and I talked to them about suicide rate, and another transgender woman was like, oh, that's not what hormones do to me. Hormones will make me want to commit suicide. That's not me. Then clearly the message was not for her. But I've told people before that I've watched many girls who are on these hormones that it affects the mind. And it clearly affected hers because she was all going into stuff and it has nothing to do. When I'm talking about the girl, I'm talking about Mr. Ross who passed away, I'm talking about the girl who went on me. You know, and my thing is that I only try to tell you things that's going to help. Because at the end of the day, if I really didn't like you and I knew this was going to affect your mind, I'd be like, girl, here's some more hormones. Girl, get this. Girl, get this. Because I could just play this whole game the same way I do with it. I suck my the way I mean, and let you just take the pill and watch you just go crazy and live and get my life from it. But, you know, and the thing about it is I always have to bite my tongue with a lot of things I say because a lot of people are not religious. A lot of people are not mean and vengeance when it comes to me. They try to talk to me saying, well, you know, Raven, thank you for helping me, thank you for talking to me, versus the ones who know it all. You know, like I always tell anybody, if it ain't for you, then don't even bother saying anything. It just wasn't for you. But it does help another girl. And like I said before, when it comes down to the hormones, it is something going on. You just think if you taking that pill is just affecting your body, it is affecting your brain. And I've talked about this. If anybody watched my videos, and I told you about this before, I've told you those hormones does affect your brain as well. Hormones affect everybody differently. If it's making you feel fabulous, then clearly this conversation is not for you. So get your life and keep on moving. But I'm just saying for the girls who can't understand why they stay in depression, anxiety, and start going crazy, can't handle things. Just think about it. I stopped taking the hormones for a while now, and I can see clearly now the rate's going. But anyway, that's just me for now. You know, anyway, I just want to put that out as far as transitioning. When you're at work, I just want you to be prepared for the unexpected. Because the ones who smile on your face may be the ones who end up taking you through it. Anyway, hope everybody's having a safe weekend and be safe. And I want to say hello, my dog. Yeah. I want to say hello, my kids. Woof. I want to say hello, new people. Boom. I want to say old people. Bam. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. You do. I want you the best way that you can. And if nobody likes it, fuck you.